Baby's got nude tatas.
No bazoombis, no
You can't look, but you can
Hear about
it.
'em.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, chop chop.
Ooh, chop chop. Wait, let me get my shoes off. I gotta get comfy. All right, Bubba. Well, we're gonna talk about boobies today.
Today is a whole episode about my breast reduction.
Yeah, I think I'm basically just gonna kind of interview my cutie little wifey over here. I asked you guys on our Staying Up podcast Instagram. Sorry, I got my brain
Well, we didn't do our intro.
Oh yeah,
Let's do it.
hello and thank you for staying up. Oh wait, hello and welcome to Staying Up with Cami and Taryn. I'm Cami
and I'm Taryn. And every week, fuck me, bro. Why do we even do it anymore?
I don't know.
Every night we have a sleepover. Every week we invite you to join us.
What up? Thanks for staying up.
Any hoodlum.
Yeah.
On our Instagram, which is at Staying Up Pod.
Yeah.
Follow us, join us.
Staying Up Pod, if you want to come join us on the Instagram, come get silly over there. I asked y'all for your questions on Taryn's boobie reduction.
Yep.
So we're going to answer them. I kind of looked through them all and just added them into my interview.
Were there
Call
some...
me Katie Couric. Is that her name?
Cool. Kitty Cookie. Kitty Crick.
Call me Kitty Cat.
Call me Kitty Kitty.
Ew.
Did the peepees ask some inquisitive questions?
Yeah, they did. There's a lot of peepees interested in getting a reduction.
I figured.
So I really think that this will be super helpful.
If you notice that I look stiff, in pain, strange, like I'm not taking deep breaths,
It's because she isn't.
it's because I am.
And like I'm
Doesn't
not
matter.
taking deep breaths. Yeah, you kind of mixed up.
No, I am not taking deep breaths. It also doesn't matter. You know what I meant.
You're
Noticing correctly is
Yeah.
what I mean to say. And I'm trying my hardest, and I'm sorry if I'm very low energy. I sit on the couch all day for 5 days and take pain medicine every 3 hours. And yeah, it's honestly, this is a bad teaser for what I'm about to say, which is like I would do the surgery 10 times over. It's so great, but just a heads up on the energy levels are a little bit low,
Yeah.
but I wanted to be real.
We're going to share from pre-op to op to post-op to what made you get this.
Op.
We're going to get to all the ops. Don't you worry.
Top.
The ops are here. But first up, we got to do the weekly up, baby. Ow, I just slammed my hand into the wall. Weekly up. You're going to be our you today.
I'll just be very quick and I will say, I am so happy I did this. I'm so proud of myself. Like that's the really good thing. That's what my whole week has been about, is prepping for the surgery, having the surgery, and now recovering. And also, as we know, I have health anxiety and health OCD, and that has been a really hard thing to juggle with this experience. And so I'll share more about that, in this episode, but that's kind of what my week has been. And it's also a lot of like needing Cam to do everything for me, which is, I just feel stupid. I feel like a bump on a log. No, I do. I'm just like, can you pick that up? I just feel so stupid.
Baby.
So there's that. But some joys have been that we've had some friends over throughout, the experience come over.
Every day, baby.
Yeah, and they've seen my boobs and been happy for me. They've like helped me get up. They've like gone on walks and like helped me stabilize and all that stuff. So that's been really nice. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's been really sweet to have people come and help and take care of you and send so many goodies, and everyone's been very sweet.
What about you?
I've been
Your week?
a single mom who works 2 jobs.
Literally.
Yeah. It's been busy, but I like to be busy.
Yeah.
I like to be needed. I don't mind being a caregiver. So it's been okay. I'm a little exhausted today. It's catching up to me a little bit. I'm like, oof, I'm tired because it's been a busy day in general for me, and then it's like no breaks. But I feel sad that it's been like, you wanted to just be like, surgery done, I'm amazing, I feel great.
Yeah.
I'm walking on my walking pad while working and typing, and you are stuck on the couch. So it's been hard to watch you go through that.
I hate being stuck. It's like I feel so claustrophobic.
It's been like hard to watch that and hard to watch your like health anxiety spike. Like, I just feel for you. This is really a tough moment for you. Like, it's just a lot. Surgery when you have health anxiety is intense, but I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
So yeah, I feel good. I'm staying busy. Really trying to just focus on health and moving my body. I found out that my fibroid surgery, which will hopefully be mid-September, apparently I can't work out for like 6 weeks after.
Yeah.
So we're really just gonna like flop rolls there. You okay?
Yep.
Not your medicine just on the table.
I have to remember to take it in a little bit.
What time?
It's during this recording.
Okay.
So.
What was I saying though?
Fibroid surgery, 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, I just found out that I will have to be like basically doing the same thing as you're doing on the couch. But after IVF and feeling like so out of my body, like looking at pictures of me is like overwhelming me. I'm like, who is that? I just don't feel myself. So I was so excited to be like, okay, I have to take a break from IVF. So I'm going to spend this time just like getting back to myself, feeling normal in my body and in my clothes. And then to find out like it's going to be cut short and I'm going to have to go back to the rest is a little frustrating. But I'm just trying to channel that into like, I'm just going to move as much as humanly possible for this next month.
Been.
Like I just don't want to stop.
She's been boogieing around the house.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel pretty decent.
How's our us?
Wait, the lighting on your ibuprofen right now?
Pretty?
Because of your water. Do you see it over here or is it just on my side? Oh my God. It's like golden hour on it.
How's our us? How's our union?
I think we're good.
I think we're doing great.
I am really appreciative of you for appreciating me. You have been very vocal about it, and that makes me feel really good and makes taking care of you really easy when I know that it's valued and that it doesn't go unnoticed. Like I said, I've been really liking it. I feel like it's just another way of practicing for kids, like having to make your meals and like get you water when you need it and like just little things that normal adults do for themselves and you just can't right now, but kids couldn't do a lot of those things for themselves. So I don't know. I feel really good that you are appreciative of all I'm doing for you, and I like taking care of you. I want you to feel better, and I'm like, again, so proud that you did this, that I just want to make this recovery as smooth as possible for you. So
you're doing great. I am so thankful for you. I feel like you've just been the best partner in all of this, and I feel really safe with you here. Like, you know, some exes, when I think back to like times when I've gone through hard things, I'm like, we need an adult. You're not an adult, and I'm down.
We got to call somebody.
We need somebody else here.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
You feel like you have your adult here?
Yeah. Like times like this, you know, it's always like the big stuff where you're like, oh, she's not going to let me forget when to take my medicine, or make sure she's going to make sure I get up and make sure that like I'm not spiraling and all the things. And then like you never let the dogs drop, and that's like so important to me and us. So I just think that's been great. So
no, those little babies, never.
They can't drop. They're huge. They're flying all around.
They're my second priority, but they are the second priority. Yeah. You and then them. Great. I have no areas that I need you to improve on. You just need to focus on recovering. I think you are obviously having health anxiety issues, but I feel like we are moving through them. Yeah. So I just need you to keep like working on that with me and like listening to me when I reassure you of things. Yep. Keep trucking along on that, I guess, is my ask for you. Any ask for me?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Let me get out my list.
No, bro, you're doing everything.
Yesterday, you didn't give me enough blueberries with my breakfast.
No, you've been great. I think sometimes I'm scared to ask you about the reaching because I know you want me to move my body and not be too still, which I am trying to do. But then I also just want you to trust me when I'm like, that actually twinges me in a way that is scaring me.
Always ask me. I am going to continue to push you because I don't want you to get too stiff, because there's a difference between pushing it and your health anxiety not allowing you to move because you can even feel something. Yeah. So I am going to continue a little bit of tough love. Like, I don't ever think you're milking it. I don't ever think you're being a baby or dramatic about it.
Mommy milker.
Yeah, you're not a mommy milker. I think you are just
Not anymore.
Not anymore, for sure.
I'm not a mommy milker anymore.
But I do sometimes think you need pushed and reminded, like, that doesn't feel fun, but it's totally normal, and actually movement is going to be helpful right now. So
Yes, ma'am.
please don't be scared to ask me, but I also will not tell you that I'm going to stop pushing you to do certain things on your own.
Yeah.
It's not because I don't want to, and it's not because I think you're being dramatic, but it's just to be like, hey, let's assess. Is this something we actually can't do, or is it something that you just don't like what it feels like?
Absolutely heard, taken, ready.
Okay. Okay, well, let's just jump
Let's do
into
it.
your breast reduction.
Yes.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yes.
What has your experience been with your boobs? Like, how young do you remember them being big?
Yeah.
And cumbersome in some way? And, like, really, what made you want to get this?
I remember in like middle and high school, I really noticed. Middle school, I think I started to really notice because I was always a tomboy and I never dressed in girly clothes. So my boobs were always so like cumbersome and annoying to me because I was just like, I'm never trying to show them off. Like, so why are they
These
even
aren't
here?
an asset to me.
No.
Yeah.
And they made me feel self-conscious more than anything.
Yeah.
Unless I was like in a bikini or something. And then I was like,
You're like, these are fun.
and like they were bigger than all my friends.
yeah, you're like,
So,
surprise, bitches.
yeah. So when we were
You
with
didn't
like,
think I had these.
when we were with like boys and stuff at the beach, it
Yeah,
was
they were like, Taryn.
well, I don't know what they were thinking, but that's what I was thinking
Oh,
at
yeah,
least.
for
I was like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
But then they very quickly became too big to the point where I was like, I don't want to play volleyball.
You're like, slow down. This was fun.
Yeah.
You're out of
Like,
hand.
I don't feel comfortable doing anything without a shirt
Yeah.
covering me if I'm in a bathing suit or a bra or whatever.
Yeah, like people are playing like beach volleyball, and you're like, I can't do that.
Any impromptu thing,
Yeah.
I had to prepare for like days in advance to be like, what am I going to wear? What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah.
How do I strap these babies down?
Yeah. I also like I used to pray for big boobs, which is really funny. Like when I was little,
I didn't know this.
when I was little, I used to be like, I hope I get big boobs because my mom never had big boobs.
Oh my God, I did
And
too.
yeah, so I used to like pray for it.
Oh my God, babe, it worked.
I know, but what I actually
Is
think
that why you
happened
became
is,
so religious? Because you had to thank
maybe.
God personally?
But what I think actually happened was that I drank so much milk
I
as a
was
kid.
going to ask if you think it's because of the mass amount of milk.
I
you consumed.
was mommy
Mommy
milker for fucking my whole life, you guys. I would have a gallon of milk to myself like every 2 days. My parents would have to go buy more milk.
Whole skim, 2%?
2%.
Okay.
2% from Ralph's.
You know what? I will say, when I was little, I hated milk always.
Dude, milk's
but there
so
was
good.
like a moment in like elementary school or something. One of my friends drank normal milk and they had 2%. And I was like, okay, this one slaps. 2% is kind of where it's at.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I'll let you have that.
Thank
But
you. But I think
milk
it
always
just,
revolted me.
the joke in my family was like, that's what happened. I just had so much milk that I became like a fucking milker.
You're the tallest person in your family.
I know.
And then you had tatas for day. Also, it's kind of crazy because you were always very tall, very thin, and you have such a little frame, like shoulders. I always think people talk about like Sydney Sweeney's so lucky because she has these knockers, but then like her skinny little arm. Normally, if you have like big knockers, it's almost like having a big butt. You gotta have big thighs or it's fake. Big boobs with like skinny little arms, it feels unnatural. It's like you hit the lottery, and that's what you always had, where it's like it doesn't look like it should be even naturally possible to have that big of boobs and that skinny of little arms.
And like the second that they started getting saggy, it was less like, oh, I have like big knockers, how lucky, like my bazoombas, and more like, oh, I look like I've already had like 3 kids.
That's the thing that I think people have a misconception of, like how women's bodies work though, because they weren't saggy. I get that, like the before and after.
My
they
nipples
are,
pointed down.
but that's just because they were so heavy.
Yeah.
There was so much weight to them. But that if there is not a single woman in the world who has naturally large boobs like that above the age of 20 who they don't sit
Of course.
lower. Like
Of course.
that's just called gravity.
Yeah.
Science.
You're so smart.
I know.
But anyway, so that's when it came and when it
Yeah.
started to notice and everything.
Yeah.
And then I would have pain that nobody else was experiencing all the time. Like my neck would hurt all the time. I would have crazy headaches, my shoulders, and I was like playing tennis competitively all through till I was like done in high school.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I would have to go to chiropractors and I would have to get so much body work, and nobody else was getting all this body work at our age. Like everyone just like felt fine. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me that I'm like, feel like a little gremlin up here. And
that probably didn't help with health anxiety at all.
doesn't help with health anxiety because you're always like, where is this coming from? What is this pain? What is that? Obviously my chest is heavy because I had really big boobs. So I was constantly curved in. So my posture got really bad, which really hurt my confidence because even like when you're really tall, the times in my life that I felt like the best are when I feel like tall and lean. And something about being that combo, I would stand up really tall. I felt like I could stand up taller.
Yeah.
But then my boobs got to a point where no matter how lean I was still closing in and just felt like lurch. I felt like I was lurching around town. And like,
So then you kind of like coil in and
100%.
yeah.
And I'll see pictures of myself and I'll see, myself on a Zoom or whatever. And I'm like, why am I sitting like that? Like, that's not my internal state. Is like, I'm a very confident, like here, comfortable, whatever person. But then I would see my posture and just be like, bro, I look miserable.
Yeah, your body language
miserable.
wasn't matching who you are and what you were actually feeling. So then you're like, that doesn't look like me.
Yes.
I don't feel right like that.
And then on the health anxiety side too, I would get chest pain all the time. And obviously it was like my breasts were too heavy and they were pulling on my frame and I couldn't work out my chest how I wanted to strengthen it. I'd have to do crazy extra back work to be able to strengthen it and to hold myself better. And it just was all around very annoying and just this like part of me that everyone was like, oh, I pray for that. Or like, oh, I would give me some. Like that joke is like every time you say anything, they're like, oh, you want smaller boobs? I'll have them. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I guarantee you wouldn't. I guarantee you wouldn't. But like, thanks, I guess. Like, I guess I should be grateful. But I'm like, it's just not me. It didn't feel like me.
Exactly. And like, was there any component of it with dressing and when you're coming out and figuring out like what your style is and how you show up in a queer space? Like, was there any part of that felt uncomfortable or confusing of like, do I show these off? Do I like wear baggy clothes? Am I wearing this because I want to or because I'm hiding part of who I am?
It's hard because like there's a really weird blurring line between like how fit I feel in general and like how I feel about my boobs, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I feel like when I am basically, I have to be at peak shape everywhere else in my body to feel like my boobs didn't bother me as much. And so I was like making myself sick.
Just aesthetically. They're still bothering you in other ways, but like aesthetically.
Just aesthetically and how I dressed. And so it was like I would be being so unhealthy with like counting calories and like doing all of these things to control everything I could control so that my boobs would like outweigh like how I felt about my body kind of outweighed that.
Yeah.
So when I was doing that, I would wear more revealing things because they didn't make me feel like I felt proud of other parts of my body. But every other time I'm like, give me baggy, give me like comfy, give me whatever.
Yeah.
But as I've found more of like my own personal style and what I like to wear anyway, I just don't like va-va-voom. I know I keep saying that.
You're like, that's not me.
I'm like, I'm not va-va-voom. I'm not not Rosie the Riveter. What's that girl? Betty Boop.
Betty Boop. Cute.
When I wore anything that showed any sort of cleavage, I felt, just because the size of my boobs, like I was Betty Boop. And that I wanted to be that. and that because I wore a shirt like this, I wanted everyone to see me that way. And it was like so not me.
You're like, this
that,
is not accurate.
Yeah. So I think like I will always prefer to be comfy. I will always prefer like oversized, baggy, whatever look. But I think now with these, I can't imagine I'm going to start going into like va-va-voom fashion world. Like there's no way I'm going to start like.
Well, it's like, and you didn't before, like you didn't want that even before. You were like,
No.
That was the bummer of your boobs where you're like, that's not who I am. Like
100%.
it was almost more fun to reveal like in an intimate moment where you're like, surprise, here
Yeah.
they are. So I don't see you then switching and going into like revealing stuff.
No,
You're like, I've
but-
worked so hard, but you'll have more freedom of like, you can wear a low cut top and it not feel va-va-voom because you don't have huge knockers anymore.
There was some time in San Francisco when I had just lost so much weight so that my boobs were a little bit smaller, but they were still way too big for my frame.
Yeah.
That I would wear tighter like workout sets and stuff like that. And I loved that. But that's probably the closest that I will get to being quote unquote like more revealing or like even girly. Like that's the closest I'm getting
Yeah. I even feel
in
like
this world.
you love a lot of men's tops, like the style of it, but it's really been hard for you to make them fit properly. Like if anything, I feel like you should have been getting them altered because you'll have to go up to such a large size because obviously the men's shirts are not created for somebody with a chest. So then you're having to get them big enough to fit your chest and not be tight around your chest because it's supposed to be like a loose straight lines. Like it's just the proportions to get them there. You'd have to go up really big.
Yeah.
But then it would be like so baggy in your arms and shoulders, so loose on your stomach, so long, and like the proportions were all off where it would land on your hips then.
Yeah.
And I feel like you never loved a shirt. You'd be like, I like the idea of this and I like parts of it.
Yeah.
But I'm like not obsessed. And I feel like your sweet spot was you would wear a tank and then a button down and wear it open. And you didn't want that. Like you didn't prefer that style if you saw it on somebody. Like if you found inspo, you'd be like, oh, I love this like buttoned up and worn how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But in order to balance it, you like would typically do a black tank so your boobs look smaller.
Yeah.
Loosened up so it would like fit you properly and you got those straight lines.
Yes.
I just feel like you're going to have so much fun playing with clothes. Like
I think so too.
trying new things and being like, oh, I can get the silhouette that I loved before, but I don't have to do so much to make it work.
I also would never wear white because
Really?
I don't really wear white tops.
Huh. I
Because
never thought about that.
the upper boob fullness was so clear in a white top that I hated it. So I basically like have only worn like really dark colors because it like hides it more. So that'll be fun to like get to see if that changes.
Wow.
But yeah, it just didn't, they just never felt like me. I never was like, hell yeah, I'm glad this is who I am. Whereas like me being tall or me having curly hair or me having big eyes, like those things feel like me.
Yeah.
So it just felt like the car got all the right pieces and then at the last minute it got like a completely different engine.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
you're
wait,
like,
what the
huh?
fuck? Why'd you put that here?
You're
It
like,
doesn't
this
go
doesn't
with
go.
this model. Yeah.
100%.
That's how it felt.
Yeah, I think that really nails it. I feel like you really do identify with so many things that are quintessential you aesthetically.
Yeah.
That just feels off. Like honestly, now looking at your chest now, I'm like, that feels so you. It feels like the boobs that you were always meant to have, which is really cool. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so what was like the final straw? What pushed you over the edge to be like, I'm doing it and I'm doing it now? Like, why didn't you do it sooner? Why didn't you do it later? Why now?
My move was always, I'm going to do it, but it will happen after I carry and after I have babies. After I have baby. Because mom's boobs always sag after they have a baby and then they want to get a lift and a reduction or whatever. So I was like, great, I'll just do it all at once.
Yeah, you're like, why do this ahead of time and then have to redo it?
And then since we've been together and I've been like, I actually kind of really don't want to carry, I would rather get this done. And I just, it's been years. I just haven't had the like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Until, honestly, the last couple of years, we've done so many like proactive things for our health. Like we did the pre-nuvo scan. I've done all the like function blood tests and all of that stuff. And like, I'm trying to get ahead as much as I can, partly for my health anxiety, so that like I have the evidence that I'm actually healthy, but also that like we're 34, we're not like young anymore. And like
I feel like 30s is the time to do it, because
100%.
it's a time where preventative work, not to get off on a tangent, but it's a time where preventative things make an impact.
Right.
Like we were talking the other day that I feel like our generation is going to be the healthiest because our parents, they would only do stuff once it was a problem.
Yeah.
Where we are so preventative. We like look at our parents' health, so we stay up on things that might be genetically affecting us. We do a million tests. Like we invest in our health
100%.
at our age. And I feel like these last couple, like after marriage, we're like, okay, the next thing is like we get really healthy. We make sure we're healthy for our future kids and we can be around for a long time. Yeah.
So I think when I was like getting very focused on like all this preventative stuff, and I don't even think I noticed this, but now that I'm thinking about it, that's where I bet this came from, where I was like, okay, now I'm not carrying. I'm doing all this stuff for myself. This is the one thing that I have told myself I'll do my whole life.
Yeah.
And like, I should just do it.
Yeah.
And then this year it was like, okay, you're going to get pregnant and so it was like,
thought.
let's do it while you're pregnant before the baby comes, so that I can help with the kid more.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like, I'm not going to be able, I always had this dream. Not everybody, but a lot of people have this like strange specific dream of like strapping your kid to your chest in one of those stupid little things and going on a walk. And I'm like, I wouldn't be able to do that at all. They'd be sitting on my boobs like maybe it would be comfortable for them, but it would not be comfortable for me. Yeah. And so I was like, I should do something about this before it's too late, especially because like I don't want you caring for me when you're pregnant. And
it was kind of like a not now or never, but like now or we gotta wait a while.
And like the older you get, the more like risky surgery gets and stuff. And I know myself, and I know I'd be like, oh my God, if I'm 40, I can't like be doing something like this.
There was no more reason not to do it, and it was like kind of the perfect time presented.
And I always get really fucking sad when I see a really old person with terrible posture, because I'm like,
you do say that a lot.
It makes me sick.
And you always go, that's gonna be me.
I always say that's gonna be me. Not anymore.
Not anymore,
and
baby.
I think I'm like, that's a lifelong thing.
You want to like sit up? As
I know. It's a lifelong thing of me wanting to fix that, and I have to start it now.
Yeah.
Or else I'm gonna be way too far behind, which I already am. But I'll fix it now, and it won't be an issue.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to more specific surgery stuff.
Tell me.
How did we pick your doctor? How did you like find how you were going about this? What you were doing? Hold on. She's taking her ibuprofen. It is time.
What time is it?
Staying up on the meds.
Remember. Okay, got it.
I'll write it down.
Thank you. So at some point we were like, let's just start figuring it out. And so I started emailing, looking up doctors in LA, trying to find the best of the best, and seeing if any of it would be covered by insurance or anything. Learned pretty quickly that insurance was not going to be a route that would work for me, which I really don't understand.
Can you, to your ability, go into that? There were a lot of people who had questions on insurance. Unfortunately, I know you can't really answer, and costs as much as you're comfy diving into that. Can you?
So I don't fully understand how the insurance world of this works. I basically found a surgeon in private practice that I wanted to go with no matter what. And insurance was like, I don't know, an option with him, but it didn't work for me for whatever reason.
I think your first doctor, just to jump in here for a second, it was very confusing with the insurance side, but she basically was like, there's no world that it's going to be able to be covered for you.
Yeah, because
which was very bizarre.
Even if you have documented issues in your body, which like I have scoliosis, I have seen a chiropractor and masseuses and all the things for my whole life. Even if you have all of the things documented and on paper, you still will only get cleared to take a certain amount out, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate she was, so do not take this as like Bible here. Please go look into it yourselves with insurance. It's also different state to state. I think it used to be way easier, specifically in California, but now like within the recent last few years, a lot has changed. It's apparently just much harder to have insurance cover it. But bottom line, you knew you were going to be very, very picky with your doctor.
Yeah.
And the doctor that you found wasn't an option to have him covered.
Yes.
For you. So it was like, we are going with him because he's the best of the best and you feel the safest with.
Yeah.
So long story short, we did not go through insurance, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It was like a very big, important thing to you and a big investment for your health and very worth it.
So I met with 2 doctors. The first doctor, I basically, you can go on their website and a ton of them have before and afters. I wouldn't even be.
And is that what you did to research? Just search like
yes.
breast augmentation doctor at Los
Breast
Angeles?
reduction best breast reduction doctors, Los Angeles, skip past all the sponsored results and then
Always.
start looking at it. And I read reviews and I, do all the things. There's a website called Real Self that was really useful that is just like literally people collecting their plastic surgeon experiences and like real before and after photos. So definitely sign up for that. And then, I wanted to just make sure that the doctor had real pictures of the exact thing that I was doing and that you like their style. So I remember before we met with our 2 doctors, we had friends over and we were just like looking at all the different doctors' work and looking at their boobs and being like, do you like this style? Do you like this style? Because each one kind of has like a look that they do. It's like,
I know this might sound insane, but when I was talking to my mom the other day, I think it's a really good comparison to like getting your hair done. Like you have to go to a stylist who can do the style you want while also keeping in mind what your hair type is like and what works on you and what suits your face.
Yeah.
So it's like liking the style first and then trying to find somebody that has similar composition as you.
So then I was down to like 2 doctors that I wanted to meet with. The first doctor was fine. She was kind of strange and made some like weird comments to us that were, I don't know, she was just rubbing us the wrong way. But more than anything, she was like not very clear that she would be able to give me the results that I wanted. And basically it sounds like from my research that most plastic surgeons say, based on your size, I can tell you how much I'll be able to take off for you. Then I will have to do a FNG, which is like a free nipple graft, where they take your nipple off. Basically anything after that you want off, that's going to be a bigger surgery where they take your nipple off, take more off, and then put your nipple like back on. And it's just like a kind of more intense surgery, but a lot of people do it. And
scary
in my Reddit that I'm in, it's like totally normal.
Oh, it's very common.
Yeah.
But it was just everything.
You lose sensation in your nipples forever. Yeah.
You risk not being able to, if you do want to carry, breastfeeding might not be an option.
Yeah.
But this first doctor, it just, everything that you wanted and you were curious about, it was a lot of no, not possible for you.
For size wise, I'm like at least a triple D. I have a triple D/G bra that I wear all the time that I feel is too tight for me. Like I've always
you don't even really know what size you were.
So I'm like upwards of whatever that is by a little bit.
Yeah, she was acting like she really couldn't get you very small, and then the pictures she ended up showing of like what she thought she could do for you was looking very peckish.
Yes.
And one of the criteria for Taryn and like coming up with what you actually wanted through looking at pictures and comparing was that you still wanted it very feminine.
Yeah.
You still wanted a shape of a boob. You didn't want to have a fully flat chest. This wasn't because of like gender dysphoria. You were trying to just have smaller boobs.
I just want boobs that I don't think about and that are fine and cute and just are there. And a lot of times when you say like, they see me and they see that like I'm not super feminine or whatever. And so they're like trying to suss out if you want top surgery, basically. Yeah. And then if you say no, but you're like, I want them basically as small as you can make them, then there is like a version that kind of is these really wide boobs. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't want that because I still wanted to be able to wear a bikini and like feel like I'm in like a cute little
shape
bikini.
Of a boob.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of it's just like a flattened area.
Yeah.
And wider, which makes sense because that is like fully forgotten if you don't want to think about it. But yeah, you wanted to be able to be like, when you look at them naked, I got these.
So that first doctor,
boobs.
she seemed very confident that she understood what I wanted, but we didn't feel that. And
Well,
that
and
was like a
also,
strange.
It was early days where I don't think we were fully like had a vision.
Yeah, that's true.
We were info gathering at the time. So I think, yes, that surgeon wasn't right for you and what you needed, but it left you kind of like knowing what you didn't want.
Yes.
And then you were able to go back to the drawing board and really figure out what you do want.
So after that, it was like I walked out being like, okay, so this isn't going to be covered by insurance and I'm barely going to get the reduction that I want.
You also went to her because I think we thought she was covered by insurance. So it was like not the surgeon you wanted, but you're like, let's go meet with her anyways. She seems good. I like some of her photos and I think I'm going to get it covered by insurance. And she immediately was like, nope, it won't be. And you're like, oh,
I was like, okay. Bitch, I'm out of here. So we left that and I was pretty disheartened because I was like, okay, if this is the story, this sucks. Like, I'm not going to get the size that I want. I'm going to spend a bunch of money.
Yeah, I think she quoted you at like 25 grand.
Yeah.
Too.
And like they're probably just going to look like peckish and not the style that I want. Yeah. And she would have to do a nipple graft, she told me, which is the more intense surgery. And there was like all this like I had to be in like an oxygen hyperbaric chamber after.
Oh my God, yeah.
For like weird shit.
Because that's so you don't lose the nipple.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the nipple, I forget the terminology, but I guess it can kind of like reject it and then it like turns black. I think it like kind of dies, but you keep, I don't know. It was freaking me out.
Regardless.
But she was like, you have to do all this stuff after and it was hundreds of dollars more.
She just made me very anxious.
Yes.
And then said some like strange remarks and I was like, I don't want to be with you. But then I was recommended to a doctor named Dr. Teitelbaum, or Teitelbaum. Titty Bomb.
In Santa
Monica, who a friend of ours had gone for a consultation but decided not to get the procedure because he was very honest with her and said that he didn't think that she needed what she thought she needed. And so it sent her back where she was like, oh, maybe I don't. And whatever. She was so thankful that he was so honest.
That is a good sign for anyone. I don't care if you're getting Botoxed, a facial, or buying a fucking dress at Nordstrom. If someone says you actually don't need that, that is a good ass surgeon. Like, that's who you want to go to.
So we started looking him up and turns out he's the fucking guy. He didn't come up in my research, but
I want no men around me, not yes men. I think is better.
That's beautiful.
You want people to call you out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stuck on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. I got lost in your thought, but
sorry.
I appreciate
I like had to get the words out or I couldn't focus.
I appreciate your independent thought.
Thinking. Anyways, so we go to him.
He's like was ranked the number 7 breast augmentation doctor in the US. He like has so much work shown on his website and on Yelp and on people talk about him on Reddit. Like he's like known.
Every photo looked perfect.
Even if it wasn't perfect.
Like he had so many of the style you wanted, but even if they weren't like what you wanted, if they were too big or just a different style, they were perfection.
100%.
I was still like, that's great.
So we set up a consultation with him, went in, and immediately better vibes. So much better.
He read your mind.
He read my mind.
Even when he would ask for clarification on something, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
100%.
That was so smart of you to clarify that. And he like knew the answer, but he was like, just double checking.
100%.
When you say this, you mean blah, blah, blah. He just like, he's a freaking pro.
Yeah. And he just made me feel so confident. He basically was just like, you are going to love this surgery. This is the perfect thing for you. You are the perfect candidate for it. And it is going to solve your problems. Like, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like schmoozy or whatever. It just felt so realistic and honest
and confident.
Yes. And like his recovery sounded easier than I had heard people talk about, which already everyone was like, it's a breeze.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like pretty sold on him once we met and just felt his team, his nurses, the staff, like you can email them, call them. They're so available. They were just like the perfect team for me.
Yeah, I've decided that's what I need in doctors is like availability. Yeah. I don't need you to give me my home number, which he did for your recovery. I don't need all that, but like just respond, just make it easy, especially when it's a big thing that you've never done.
100%.
So obviously Taryn went with Dr. Teitelbaum.
Yes.
He was amazing.
In Santa Monica, he's the greatest. Go see him and tell him I sent you.
So what did you have to do leading up to surgery? Like, how did you have to prep for this?
So once I decided that I was doing it, they basically, you send them some of your health, like recent health information and like what risks you whatever have, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have like no red flags in my surgery history or my family surgery history or anything like that. So they basically will just tell you what you need to get done based on what they think. Mm-hmm. So I know for just me, I had the most minimal pre-surgery requirements, which was just I had to go see my primary care doctor, and they did a pre-surgery physical, which was just like listening to my lungs and my blood pressure and like all that kind of stuff, and asking me questions about like anesthesia and those types of things. And then they do a really limited blood panel to like make sure that like everything's okay in my blood, because like there is some blood loss, I think. So super minimal. Sent that in, paid down.
And a mammogram.
Oh, no, I did that on my own. I didn't have to do that.
Oh, I think you were like young enough to not have to.
I'm young enough.
I think that was really smart to do though.
Yes.
It's like before you get chest surgery, check and make sure everything's okay. That
my mom had breast cancer during the pandemic. And so I've always been a little nervous, and my breasts have always been, our pre-nuvo scan, which is a full body MRI, said that my breasts are super dense, which I think it does that for a lot of women, but that I should get further testing just to make sure there's nothing like nefarious going on.
And you're supposed to start getting mammograms at,
I think it's 35.
Oh, I thought it was at 40 or 5 years before your mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, if she were to have it.
Who knows? But just do it.
But like, start earlier.
There's
no harm in getting one.
We live near a hospital. I called them, said, hey, my mom had breast cancer. I'd like to get a mammogram before I have this surgery done. They said, great. Scheduled it for like 3 days out or something.
Yeah, like,
went
come in.
Barely hurt. Everyone says they hurt so bad. Mine really didn't hurt that bad.
Yeah, that was shocking. I've never had one. I need to go get one.
Got the results immediately, was fine. Which was great. But why I was so hell-bent on doing that before is because if during the surgery they take out all this tissue, then they send the tissue for testing. So if they were to then find that there was breast cancer, they might need to go in after I had already done this surgery and take out more of my boobs or whatever, and it wouldn't be covered by insurance.
Yeah.
So
no, that would be covered.
Sorry, that would be. But
so it's like, why did I bother doing?
Yeah. Yes. So I wanted to just make sure that there wasn't anything spooky going on before.
Very smart.
That said, I don't know. They could still maybe find stuff, but like, no, I don't know.
Your health anxiety. Well, just because he checked doesn't mean that there's not anything wrong with you.
So anyway, simple physical, simple blood test, and the mammogram was just, I did it for my own peace of mind.
So operation day. Oh, you also she had to cleanse her 5 days leading into the surgery.
Yes.
She had to cleanse herself daily with a special cleanser.
Dr. T gave me a fat book, pre-surgery book, with like things to do 40 days before.
It was my dream.
Same.
It was my dream.
It was amazing.
The details.
Or things to do a month before, things to do 10 days before, 5 days, whatever. So like a month before, it was like, cut out, like stop having so much alcohol, don't smoke, don't like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure you're staying active, be healthy, have better nutrition, like all that kind of stuff. And then some like specifics of like medicines you should stop taking or start taking or whatever. Supplements.
It was all spelled out for you. Even like day of surgery, you'll come in, we'll talk, you'll take pictures, you'll do this.
Yes.
It was like,
it was amazing.
Detailed.
Yeah.
Loved
and
it.
Then like only 5 days before, I had to just wash my body with a certain like antiseptic body wash. And then I had a little antibiotic that went in my nostrils, on my nipples, and in my belly button.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. Yeah. But it helps prevent staph infection.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it.
So surgery day.
Yep.
We go in bright and early. Anesthesiologist called you the night before, did a little rundown, typical surgery protocol. We get in there. What's the day looking like for you?
It was like 7:30 in the morning. I was really nervous because obviously it's fucking massive surgery, but like they are so kind, so comfy, so easy. They ask you all sorts of questions. and make sure that like they know everything about your medical history and whatever. And you can call them anytime leading up to this, but I maybe sent like 2 emails for random questions, but like
maybe like 12. I don't know.
yeah, nothing big. And then they give you like a pre-surgery cocktail concoction of like, it was like 6-7 pills. It was like painkiller, Valium to help you calm down, like all sorts
Which
of,
I think really helped.
which really fucking helped me.
I'm like, we need to get you on that for every flight we go on.
100%. All sorts of little stuff. And this is the coolest thing that I did, and I can't recommend it enough. Before surgery, I realized, this is so weird. So my dad was like, Taryn, this is a big surgery. You should know what you want out of it. Because I kept being like, I still don't really know what I'm getting because I don't really know that I'm explaining it well.
Yeah, you were very nervous. I think after the first surgeon, feeling like, they're not telling me what I want.
Yeah.
That I don't know if we're aligned. You were like, I need to quadruple check that we are really aligned.
Yes. So before my
And everyone should do this, I think.
surgery day, I basically went onto, I think it's called Real Self. I went onto Real Self and took screenshots of before and afters that I liked or didn't like. So anyone that I was like, I'd be so happy to have that, or like, I really don't want that. That would be a nightmare for me to wake up to. And I probably had like 50 screenshots of people's boobs just all over my page.
Boobs all around town.
And
we were at my parents' while we were doing this. My mom was like, are you guys just looking at boobs? We were like,
yeah, but so clinically.
But
it's
not in a sexy way.
No. And then what I did was I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm getting a surgery. I want to send my doctor a note beforehand to clearly outline everything that I want or don't want, what my fears are, how I want to feel, all this stuff. So I need you to help me to write like a document that I can send to him.
I think you were also nervous because you have a hard time articulating
Yeah.
what you want visually, whether it's like us designing a room
I
or
need
how
to
you want your
see it
hair done.
visually. Yeah.
You have a hard time like pinpointing that.
So then I said, now I'm going to upload 40 pictures that I love. And I want you to dissect what it is that they have in common in a way that I could say to my doctor that would like help him understand. Then I did the same thing for the pictures I didn't want. Can you dissect what I don't like about this? And find the similarities between all these photos. And it spits out a pretty perfect document of like, hey, here's how I want to feel after the surgery. Here are my main concerns. Here are the things that I want, which like ChatGPT does such a good job of using the language of the industry. So it was like, I want small protrusion or whatever, which like I wouldn't have known how to say that I don't want them to stick out that much, but like it knew what to say to him. And then it was like, I want no upper fullness, which is what I was saying about the white t-shirt where I hate when you can see my boobs coming out like above my bra, like that top kind of like,
You want a nice little
it's like a boob
teardrop.
pooch.
Yeah.
Yes, I want like a teardrop. And so it was like minimal upper fullness, more bottom fullness or whatever. So I made this document and I sent it to him before. Back to the day of surgery, he came in. Well, the nurse first went through it with us and was like double checking.
Yeah,
got
she was
it.
like, easy.
You can do all of this. This is easy. Then he came in and was like, are you ready? Let's do it. Blah, blah, blah. And he walked through. He's like, let me read this with you right here. And he sat there.
Yeah.
In
And
the
he had
office.
already gone through it. He like was very familiar with it and then was like, let's make sure our language, we're speaking the same language.
And
here.
he just sat there and read it and was like, perfect.
And when he was clarifying, he was like adding to it and explaining it back to you in his own words. And it was like so dead on.
So dead on.
Whenever he would like read a sentence on it, he was like, oh yeah, you mean blah, 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 because of this and this. And it was like 100%. And I said it better myself.
The document had, at the end, had a couple of the pictures I liked and didn't like instead of like not all 50, but just some of the ones that I think
like
stuck out
3
the
of
most.
each.
And he went through the ones that didn't work or that I didn't like and was like, so this couldn't happen for you because X, Y, and Z. This could happen, but we're going to make sure this doesn't happen for you. Like he was just so reassuring and walking me through what could possibly happen. Then they take you to the room, a different room, and take a bunch of pictures of your boobs.
Mark y'all up.
Marks me all up, all these lines to tell him what's going where. And I'm so like curious that I'm like, what's that line? What's that line? What's that line?
What's this do?
Um,
Why are you using blue?
and then you put your clothes back on and you go and wait. And
Well, you came back to wait and you were showing me all the marks. So she was just standing there with her robe like open at me. And the anesthesiologist walked in and he was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And we're like, dude, you're going to literally watch her get filleted open on the table.
I said that exact thing.
Did you?
Yeah. And you were like, ew, filleted.
Oh, that's why that's in my head.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, then you talk to the anesthesiologist. You tell him what you're scared of. You tell him all the things, but you already had talked to him the night before. So
Taryn's really good at preemptively telling staff about her health anxiety.
Yeah.
I want to encourage people with health anxiety. I know in my mind, I'm like, I'd be scared to say that because then I don't want them to take me less serious.
Right.
When I'm saying this hurts or blah, 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 or I'm scared of this. But you're really good at saying like, hey, I'm feeling this. Just want to share, I do have health anxiety, so only tell me if it's something I need to worry about. Like you've found a really good way to communicate those things. And
Yes.
I think that's very helpful in these moments.
yeah. Yeah. I think it's really useful for doctors to know because it gives them a better idea of where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And what kind of information you're looking for instead of just like, because some doctor will make a joke about a stroke or something and you're like, I will never let that go. You don't understand that.
That's going to be replaying in my head for the rest of my life.
So, then we said our bye-byes. We said goodbye forever.
Yeah. No.
For just a few
Forever,
hours.
babe.
We said goodbye for 4 hours. And I went into the room and it's pretty... I've gotten surgeries before. I had my appendix taken out. I've gotten 2 egg retrievals. So I'm a little bit used to like a surgical environment. If you aren't, this would be a little bit overwhelming, but the staff is such a vibe. They're having the time of their life. They're trying to calm me down. They're joking. They're doing all this stuff. And I immediately told them, they said, hey, we're going to hook you up to all these machines just to monitor you, which is great. I'm happy that this exists. But I immediately said, again, I have really bad health anxiety. When you get my readings of the blood pressure or my heart rate or whatever, unless it's pertinent, please don't tell me them. I don't need to hear the numbers because I will obsess.
Yeah, don't be shouting them out loud.
If it was good or bad.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And then it was beeping a lot. And I knew it was my heart rate and it was really fast because I was anxious. And I was like, can you turn that off? And they were like, no, we need to be able to hear it. And I was like, okay, fair.
It's on for a reason,
I'm
baby.
like, okay, fair. But then they were just like playing with me. Like they would take the blood pressure cuff goes off like every 5 minutes or something to proactively monitor you. And they kept being like, wow, a perfect 120/80 again. That's amazing. Which like, obviously it wasn't because I was very anxious, but, they're just playing with me, asking me about my travels, whatever. Then the IV goes in and,
Lights out,
you
mama.
start to just like lose sense of reality, which is amazing because it feels strangely so nice when you're so anxious.
I think a lot of people are afraid of anesthesia.
It's such a vibe, you guys.
We also were looking into it before. There's been so many medical advancements in the way that they monitor you. I think people are afraid of anesthesia because there used to be issues with it.
Yeah.
But it's like so rare to have issues now. So it's like not really something you need to be super scared of. I'm not normally afraid of it when I get it. I'm afraid when someone I love gets it.
Yeah.
So that really helped me to know like I'm back in the olden days in my head of like anesthesia's risky. It's really not. They're monitoring constantly. You're totally fine. And it's not scary when you fall asleep with anesthesia. You don't even know it.
You don't know it.
A lot of times they'll be like, count back from 5. And you're like, fuck.
They didn't even have me count back. I don't remember falling asleep at all.
Yeah, you're like,
They put a little thing over my mouth to help me breathe. And then I don't remember anything.
Yeah, they're always like, this is oxygen.
Yeah.
It's not.
Is it not?
It's like a twilight sleep before they fully put you asleep, I think.
Oh.
But they don't want to scare you to be like, okay, you're going to go to sleep. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh.
I'm not ready.
I thought it was really just oxygen.
No, I think that it's like sleepy stuff.
Oh. Well, then the surgery happens. It is an intense surgery. I didn't feel any of it. I was dead asleep, all the things. But
Not dead. Not dead asleep.
I'm very
You're
sleeping.
sleeping.
I was very sleeping. But, they do an incision under your boob.
You had an anchor incision.
Yes, which is a big cut under each boob and then up to the nipple and around the nipple. And then they sew that all up and then you leave. And I also got side liposuction. So because they were already in through my nipple, they could suck out from like my armpit-ish area.
Like to contour the side boob kind of area
Yes.
to make sure that was all even and smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so they did that without having to do another incision, which is great. And then I woke up 4 hours later. I was super anxious. I always get really anxious, I guess, after I wake up after anesthesia.
Yeah, my experience in these 3 times watching you get surgery, Taryn is not happy when she wakes up. She's, I think, peak anxiety, but so tired you're unable to vocalize it. You just look like numb inside and you're like very worried about everything. But the funny thing is, I was in the waiting room at this point and the one nurse was like, "Oh my God, Taryn just woke up." Guess what the first thing she said was? And honestly, I could have probably easily guessed this. It was like either something about her health anxiety or this. Taryn was like, "Oh, I got to order Postmates."
Sponsor me.
And yeah, I was like, we need sponsorship for that. And then all the nurses were like, "Oh my gosh, what are you going to have? What are you going to eat? What are you going to order?" Like as she's waking up, trying to keep her calm. And in true Taryn fashion, she did not know. I asked the nurse she was like, "Yeah, so we asked her what she wanted." I was like, "Oh my God, what did she want? Please tell me so I don't have to like beg her to tell me what she wants to eat today." And they were like, "Yeah, if she didn't know, she wouldn't answer that part."
Funny.
So you're very funny right when you came out. By the time I got to the room, the anxiety had kicked in. You were again very nervous about all the beeps. And you don't remember most of this, right? Like
I don't really.
there.
Yeah, I don't know.
She was in a lot of pain. You told the woman you were at like, I think a 7 out of 10 in the pain department. So you were really hurting when you came out because you got a nerve blocker, which not everybody gets. But this, I think, was amazing. It really makes the recovery a lot easier. But basically, they do a nerve blocker immediately. It's like right in either side of the armpit. So the nerves on the sides, you can't feel anything. The center, you still can. But back there on the sides, you can't. But it takes 12 hours to kick in. So they probably put it in at like 8:39 at the beginning of surgery. And now we're at like 1:30 at this point or whatever. So it wasn't fully kicked in yet. So they gave you a pill. I forget what they gave you specifically.
An Oxy. When they were telling us all about the medications they were sending us home with, they talked about Oxy being one of them and said, you don't have to take this if you don't need it, but we give it to you. A lot of patients take it. And I was very quickly like, I'd really prefer to not take it unless I absolutely have to because, they're habit forming and that freaks me out for a million reasons. But apparently when I was waking up, I was like in such crazy pain that they gave me
you were in
one.
pretty intense pain. So they gave you like 2 little crackers. I came in and she was feeding her like a baby bird. She was like breaking up, not like a real baby bird, because that would mean that she was like eating it and spitting it into her mouth. But she was breaking up crackers into tiny pieces, and you were going like, open your mouth so slow. You were like,
and she gave me apple juice.
and then she put it, and then she was giving you little sips of apple juice. It was so cute.
Dude, that apple juice slapped. I
Was
remember
it good?
thinking that is so good.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't remember drinking it at first.
So good.
But yeah, you had that, and then she gave you, it was just like Tylenol or ibuprofen, something through your IV that was going to kick in. But we had to wait there for like an hour. They were checking your vitals every 5 minutes. She has to write it down. Again, you're like, "Can you turn off the beeping?" And she's like, "No, I need to monitor you." But you're good. Everything was perfect. But you were really, really anxious.
I don't believe that everything was perfect.
It was though. She heard the beeps and like she said that they were off. But every time, I think there were just multiple beeps. So sometimes it would like be like beep beep, because they would like line up kind of. Every time I looked, her numbers could not be more perfect.
Yeah.
She even said like, "Oh yeah, you were low for a minute. You're now perfect here. You've been steady perfect. So there's just like 3 more I have to check and then I can turn it off."
So what she's saying in terms of me being like really anxious when I wake up from anesthesia is that it looks like me laying there being like, "Oh God, things aren't good. I can hear it. I'm seeing like, am I okay? Am I okay? Is this too low? Is this too high?" Like I just can't.
Yeah.
Knowing that all of my vitals are on display makes it like I feel like everyone's hiding bad information from me.
Yeah, she kept being, I was like, "Babe, you're perfect. Like everything looks good." You're like, "You're lying to me. You're like, you're so paranoid." It's really crazy. And then you're just looking at me like this deadpan stare. And I was like, "Hi, honey. I love you. I love you." And you're like, like you are just out of it.
I wish I could be one of those fun
in
girls.
a sad way. Yeah, I came out of my egg retrieval and I was like, I love all you nurses. You're amazing. You're so perfect at your job. I was like crying for them. I was like a drunk girl in a bathroom.
Yeah, well, I'm a loser.
It it was just really sad, and you were just in pain, and you were shaking from the anesthesia.
Oh my God, I was shaking.
Yeah, you were really cold, shaking.
They said that that's normal, that sometimes you shake from anesthesia, but
Yeah, it's just a thing.
it scared me.
But then we got you in your little wheelchair and wheeled you out to the car.
Yep.
Got you all bundled up in the car and situated. And you kind of like were in and out of napping on the way home. I don't think you remember the drive very much.
No, but then I got really hot after the drive and almost passed out.
Well, yeah. So she made me put her, it was very hot out. We're in LA. It was like in the 80s. You had a blanket on and you had your heat on and then your seat warmer also on. Oh. You were like, no, I want the seat warmer on. And I was like, okay, but like into the drive, let's turn it off. And then I kept asking you like, can I turn it off? Can I turn it off? And you were like, no, I'm comfy. And I was like, you're going to be sweating. So by the time we drove almost an hour home, you were sweating. So we went to get you out of there. You were like, we got upstairs and in the bathroom, you had to like pee and stuff. And you were so hot. And also like she was on her period during the surgery. So I think that didn't help. But you were kind of freaking out and you're like, I'm going to pass out. Something's wrong with me. And I was like, nothing's wrong with you. You're just really hot.
And I get really anxious when I'm hot. So that doesn't help.
Always. So then imagine coming off of anesthesia and out of a surgery and having health anxiety and dealing with that. Yeah, you were kind of panicking there. But then we got you like settled in bed.
Yeah.
Cooled down. Put a little ice pack on your neck. Got your
that first
sweater
day
off.
was a wash.
That first day was a wash.
You're just tired.
You're just exhausted and you were like, just feeling nervous and a little unsure. But yeah. All right. So then how's recovery been once we came to after anesthesia and everything?
I think overall it's been okay. Like it's not terrible. You're looking at me now. I'm recording a podcast and like laughing and being able to sit and
we've had
fine.
Friends over that
we've had friends over. Like it's
with.
Really not the worst. It's just medical unknowns are very scary to me, and the part that I'm working through is the incisions that there's like two of my main worries, which I know my health anxiety girlies will understand. The incisions are open, but not open. Like they're closed. They're closed. I guess I mean active. Like
they're fresh. They are fresh incisions.
And they are stitched internally, which I haven't seen them yet because they have a little tape on everything. So there's tape under my boob, tape above, tape around my nipple. And then you wear like this little compression bra. And there's just a constant fear of them opening, of them with any surgery. But something about it being across my chest is making me breathe more shallow because I'm nervous.
It's a very vulnerable area.
It's very vulnerable.
You're saying very tight and close.
Yeah.
And then that's making you scared for your breathing too.
Yes. And then I'm also always very afraid of like blood clots and things of that nature. And that can happen to people when they're not, or after a surgery when they're like doing a lot of sitting. But that happens rarely. And it's for people that like are at high risk and aren't getting up often throughout the day, which I was and am. So
I think all of those are very like health anxiety girly related.
Yes.
I think more just realistic to people looking to get this surgery and wanting a realistic view of recovery. Because people talk about breast reductions are so easy, so easy, so easy. But I think it's when you just hear that, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be walking and living my life immediately. People go out to dinner the next day and they're vibing out.
Yeah.
I think it's easy in comparatively to other surgeries. Yeah. You have to keep in mind you still got a surgery. So a lot of what Taryn's fears come from are her health anxiety. But realistically, I think anyone would be nervous because where her scars go pretty far back under her armpits. So that area, and it's sore because of the lipo. So if you are getting those in tandem, the soreness comes from the lipo, but it's very hard to tell a few inches away where the incision is. So when you move to reach stuff, like they told her next day, you're allowed to shower, wash your hair.
Which no one else has told that. I don't know if my doctor is just like so above in his
techniques
stuff.
are quite advanced, so I think the recovery is a little different.
Because I didn't have drains. Most people have drains.
Yeah.
My doctor laughed when I asked about drains. He's like, no, that's like old school. We're not doing drains.
He's very advanced techniques, for sure.
So then, the next day I went in to get some of the padding taken off and like see them for the first time. And that's when he was like, or the nurse was like, yeah, you'll be able to wash your hair. Like, don't worry.
Yeah, she's like, maybe take today off, like keep recovering. And this is literally under 24 hours after surgery. And
I
she's
still
like,
can't wash my hair. Like,
she can. You can.
But
that feeling you really don't like, because where the bruised lipo is hurts and you can feel it so much. And in your mind, you're feeling like, is that where the scar is? And or the incision is? And am I ripping at the incision?
Yeah.
Which I think is an totally normal, rational, not health anxiety related thought. So it's like, maybe make sure you have someone to properly take care of you. Yeah. Yes, you can work. It depends what your job is, though.
You definitely can't go work at Starbucks.
Yeah, like if you're in retail and you have to be like moving around a lot and using your arms a lot, maybe don't do that. If you work in an office, even keep that in mind, that like, make sure you have a comfortable chair, make sure your desk is at a good angle that you can properly reach if you're typing.
This has been way easier for me because I can work from the couch easily. I have been on the
and I'm home 24 hours a day with you. And
she's home 24 hours.
Like, even if you have a partner who is not like, you had a lifestyle set up properly for recovery, 100%. That you could stay home, work from the couch, and have someone here to like, even her water bottle we realize is like too heavy for her to be lifting right now. We swapped it out. So you're needing your water filled up very frequently. Can she get her own water? Yes. But because that movement is feeling so weird for you, you are avoiding some of those movements, which yes, we maybe need to push to a few more. But it's just like, you could not be alone right now.
I could not be alone. I could not be working in a physical location, even though they say you can drive like 3 days after or whatever. Mm-hmm. I personally would not feel safe because of like my reaction time or whatever.
You're like, you're afraid to move a lot.
Yes. I can go on a walk with Cam, but I can't hold the leashes. Like, the way that our dogs pull, I would be in excruciating pain.
Yeah.
Like, so
and maybe if you have a little dog that doesn't pull, you'd be totally fine. But having two big dogs where like we have to be aware, and if Reagan sees a squirrel and she goes to pull, like you can't be yanking back.
And again, I think my recovery is seemingly 4,000 times better than most breast reduction recoveries are, because I use the reduction Reddit. If you just go on Reddit and it's like /reduction, and it's people telling their stories and where they're at, whatever. Most people are not up and about and enjoying their time, or they're still heavily on pain medication, or
you didn't take any heavy pain medication after immediately waking up from anesthesia. Yeah. You've done ibuprofen and extra strength Tylenol, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
So obviously all of this really depends. I think like the recovery really depends on how good your surgeon is and how like
what you're getting and
how well you listen to what they tell you to do and not do. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think like it's been easier in terms of like, I'm not like in like crazy pain. I'm not dead asleep all day, and I'm not like all those things, but it's definitely going to be a longer road than I expected in terms of like getting back to normal life and movements and things that I thought like would just be solved faster. I thought this was like maybe 2-3 weeks of me being like a little uncomfortable and whatever, and then I'd be good to go. But it's like, I can't even imagine.
Well, you're not cleared to work out until I think 6 weeks, right?
3.
Oh, you are.
3 weeks is I'm not cleared to do any workout besides a walk.
Oh, and then they see you in a month, and then they might, depending on how you are, they'll clear you to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think after this week, it's going to completely switch. I'm hoping next episode of the pod, when we do our little catch up, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm sure I will. Totally feeling fine. working downstairs again, moving my body, leaving the house.
Yeah.
Which, like, you just had this on Thursday. It is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So let's also keep in mind that it's
not
been
even
like
been a week.
Yeah. It's been just a couple days. So
yeah. But I don't want to oversell the ease because we both work from home and whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I saw people on Reddit being like, oh, I took off 6 weeks and I should need to take off more. It's like, you know,
it depends what you're doing. Like, yeah, if that person, like, imagine you're a builder.
Bob.
Like, if your job is like intense,
builder.
if you're Bobby, if you're Roberta, the builder, if your job consists of any labor, and I don't mean like just a builder. Like, when I worked in retail, there's days that I'd be freaking sweating doing stuff. Like,
I could never be in retail.
And talk to your surgeon. Say, and you write down what you do for work. Like, he was aware that you have a desk job and work from home, so he knew those things.
Yeah.
But talk to your surgeon. Tell them what you do. Get a realistic idea of how much time you need off, and then you can kind of time it. If you know, like, you have the holidays off or something, like, work that into it, because it is an easier surgery in comparison to a lot of other surgeries, but it's still a big surgery. You still want to give yourself time and grace and the space to heal and recover and not push it.
That's the thing, guys. Like, that's the thing, guys.
Guys, zoom
that's
in.
the thing.
Come here.
It's still a massive surgery, and I have to give myself that grace to, like, not expect myself to pop right back up. The hardest part of all this, which I can't believe I'm just bringing out now, has been the sleep.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Baby, I can't believe you didn't talk about sleep.
The sleep is the thing that you have to be meticulous about, sleeping whenever you feel tired, because in the night, it is really fucking hard if you're not a back sleeper. I'm not a back
if you
sleeper.
can nap during the day, do it.
Yes, I'm not a back sleeper, and you're forced into being a back sleeper for weeks with this. And I bought this big ass pregnancy pillow that goes all around me, and we just bought a wedge pillow that goes under me. And it's like, my conditions have to be perfect for me to get any sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not used to sleeping like this, and it's
Do you think the wedge pillow really helped you last night, though?
I slept like a fucking champ.
Yeah.
My aura
So,
said I got a great night's sleep.
At first,
That's never happened.
you just had the pregnancy pillow, and then we would, like, kind of prop her in a certain way. 100% recommend getting the pregnancy pillow and the wedge pillow. You need both. It is so worth it. Get them both.
We should do links and things that we recommend.
Yeah, I'll put links in the description so that y'all can have them. Any surgery that you, or anything that you need to do where you need to be on your back. And it's not good to lay flat on your back for a long time. You want to be elevated, especially when you're healing. So we'll link them below for y'all.
Overall, I am nothing but proud of myself for doing this.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of me. I can't believe that I did it. I talked about it for my whole life and was like, this is going to be something I do. I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do it. And then every time I looked into it, I was like, actually, that's really scary. I'm not going to do it.
And you did it.
And with
And you're
added
doing
health
it.
anxiety, like, I can't believe that I pushed myself to do it.
You're doing so well.
And it's just not that bad, guys. Like, I have not called my doctor, even though I have his phone number.
yeah. She spirals a couple times a day. We push through it.
We spiral, we push, we move on.
We persevere.
Yeah.
2 more questions for you.
Tell me.
1, are you happy with your results?
Guys, my boobs are fucking fire.
Guys.
But I wish I could show you all.
I know. I'm like, get them out. Get them out.
If you ever see me in person,
She'll show you.
I will show you.
She's
so
so
proud
free
of them.
about them. It's weird, I think, because they're not like the boobs that you were born with. They're not your.
They feel like a breastplate right now. Like, I feel like,
You're like,
I'm
these are big. These are. You feel so covered.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it literally, guys, I never showed anyone my boobs. I don't even think I've sent Cam like a picture of my boobs.
Yeah. You were never showing.
They made me so not confident, and I have shown. I've texted pictures to friends. I've shown friends,
neighbors,
in person.
the mailman.
Yeah, I'm like, guys, get a look at these.
Yeah, they are.
I'm so happy.
They are exactly what you explained to your doctor of like your dream boobs. And I think we were both trying to like manage expectations, be like, listen, they might not be exactly what you want. You got to have some give and take. They're better than anything that I think you even imagined.
It's also really like important to know that I was told by multiple people that like when they woke up and when the first day they were like, oh, I already felt such a weight off my chest. I was so happy. I was like, no, the pain didn't even matter. I was so proud. That was not my experience. And I think that's important to highlight because I woke up and was not at all thinking about the outcome. I was only thinking about the recovery and the pain and all the things. I didn't feel like I could breathe easier because your body is...
You were afraid to breathe. You're like, I'm going to rip every incision if I take one little breath.
Yes. Where like, I was so excited for that feeling that people were talking about. Whereas like, oh my God, you literally feel lighter. I was like, I don't feel lighter. Yeah. I feel like I am...
Although you are lighter, they took out 3.5 pounds?
They took out 3.5 pounds total.
That's insane.
And I might be either a B or a C. But the main point that I was getting to is that like, I love them, but they're not even close to what they're going to look like when they settle, when they're not swollen, when they aren't bloody, and they're not like thick scars. Like they're only going to get better and better. So right now, like while I can look at them and be like, holy shit, these are perfect. I'm like, I also know that I don't need them to look perfect. I'm chasing the feeling. And that is something that I haven't experienced yet.
Yeah, you had surgery. You're not feeling like... The whole point of you getting this surgery is to like feel free and have less health anxiety.
Yeah.
That's not what we're going to have for a few weeks.
Right.
And that's just part of the process.
So I think that's like important to remember when you go through this.
It's not an immediate relief.
I truly thought I would have this like crazy euphoria right after. And even when I first saw them, I saw them from like obviously my POV without a mirror. So I was looking down and I was just like, I don't even know what to say or think. And then Cam showed me a picture of my before and after. And I was like,
we were at the appointment and they like took all her bandaging off and were looking at him and showed her in the mirror and she's like, okay. And I'm like, how is she not freaking out at how amazing and how small they got them? And then her doctor came in and held up the before picture to her. And I took a picture of that. So it was like her standing there with her new boobs, picture of her with her old boobs in front of her. And then they left the room for a minute. And I could tell you just like didn't have that like initial, like you weren't like, feeling how I was feeling. I was like, oh my God, she's gonna freak out. Yeah. So happy. And then I showed you that and you were like, wait, what?
That picture changed a lot for me because it was the seeing how heavy my body felt like on a spiritual level looking at the before and then going to like what it is now. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is once you're recovered, this is going to be incredible.
I can't fucking wait.
Last question from the PPs. They wanted to know, were you nervous what I was going to think when you said you wanted the surgery or what my reaction was going to be to the new boobies?
I wasn't nervous because I have talked about it for so long. I can't remember my initial ever bringing it up, but like
it's always been like a known thing I knew you wanted.
It's always been a thing I've wanted. I feel like I always had this like belief that you didn't like my boobs anyway, even though you would say that you do and do things that made me feel that you do. Like I still had this like
your insecurity around your boobs
went to you
being projected onto me. Yeah.
Yes, where I was like, oh, she'll be so much happier. So even if she's saying she doesn't care, I know she'll just be so much happier once this gets done. Mm-hmm. So there was that. And like, you'll be happier for me because I'll feel more confident and that's nice. Mm-hmm. I wasn't nervous about showing you because I just felt like you would be excited no matter what. You would never tell me if they didn't look good, I don't think. I think you would, but I don't think you would.
No, I like when I was like, oh my God, they're perfect. They couldn't be better. You were like, you would say that no matter what. And I was like, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be saying all that. But yeah, I would never be like, ooh, you got botched, babe. Like I would never, ever, ever do that. But I think I would be like, yeah, I see like this is like this, but you know, maybe that'll calm down as the swelling goes down. Like I would definitely try to reassure you and calm you down, but I would never like lie to you if you were like, are my nipples crooked? I wouldn't be like, no, not at all. They're like, wah. I would be like, oh yeah, let's ask them. Is that swelling? Is that something that's going to change? Are they going to settle?
Right.
Of course I would be honest with you, but I would, obviously my number one goal would be like keeping you calm and not panicking after doing such a big thing that you were already nervous to do.
Yeah.
But I did have a fear, I will share, that, and I think it's the same thing anytime I tell you like that I've ever thought about getting a nose job. You're like, don't do it. It won't look like your face. I was just nervous. Sometimes I see before and afters, and specifically the nipple is so different that I'm like, those look like a different person's boobs on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your boobs are you.
We don't know that yet. My nipples are covered.
Well, no, your nipples are out. Your areolas are covered.
Yeah.
But even the nipple in a lot of pictures, I was like, and maybe it was gone. Maybe it's completely different. I don't know. But I started to get nervous of like, am I going to see your boobs? And if there was a lineup, I wouldn't know that those are my wife's boobs.
Well, probably they're new.
Well, no, but I look at them and I'm like, that's my wife's chest. Like, I know that that's my wife's chest.
Yeah.
You're still so you.
If anything, I love the hypothetical of you having to find me on a lineup of boobs.
If I'm playing that show, that like UK show where they're nude and they just show part of their body. No, it was just like, I love you and I want you to be you.
Yeah.
Because that's who I'm in love with.
Right.
And like, I loved your pre-boobs and I wasn't worried that I wouldn't love your post-boobs. Like I've never been like I'm only into big boobs kind of girl. So
no, you probably were like, I'm only into small boobs kind of girl.
I had only experienced smaller boobs.
Yeah.
But yours were the largest boobs I experienced, but I have no complaints about the experience.
My boobs are the largest boobs I've ever experienced on another person in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
you guys wouldn't even believe that they're my
I
boobs.
want to show them.
I know, I want to show them
like,
so bad.
You guys, this podcast doesn't
Patreon.
make sense.
It's probably allowed on Patreon. Wait, we'll look into it.
Of course it's allowed. Oh my God, we're going to get so many subs. But my fear was just, you not looking like you. And I think you can change stuff about your body and still look like you. And sometimes people change stuff and they look more like themselves.
Yeah.
And I think this, like sometimes someone will get a haircut and I'm like, you look more like you than you did your whole life. Like you look so you. And then
that's how it felt with my curly hair, like letting my hair be curlier and like doing like the middle part and whatever, like that is working better for me.
100%. And then sometimes people do something and I'm like, you did not embrace your true self and now you look less like you. But I feel like this is one of those instances, your boobs match your body more than your previous surgery boobs did.
And the thing I'm so excited about is that I am going to treat my body so much differently because
because you spent so much money on it.
That, which I'll share the price. But I feel I'm so happy about my body. I'm like, it feels like me.
Yeah.
Where like before it was kind of like, didn't get the luck of the draw. I'm over it. Like it was like hard to like push myself sometimes to want to look nice or want to work out or want to do things because I was
at the end of the day, I can't change my boobs.
I can't change it.
Yeah.
Which is probably how a lot of people with like gender dysphoria or whatever, dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Whatever. Feel. Yeah. Where it's like that I don't know, just that feeling of being like, oh, this isn't me, and so I'm just not going to feel comfy in it. Yeah. And so why try?
Why even worry about other parts that I can, whether it be like my hair or my clothes? Like, I don't feel like this is right for me.
It's like people that get veneers and suddenly they're like the smiliest person in the world. It's like, that's so sweet. It's because beforehand they didn't feel, it's not that they were more sad. Maybe they were, but it's like also that part of them is bringing out a different part of them.
Yeah. And I honestly think anyone considering any type of surgery or cosmetic procedure, that's the difference. If something's going to make you feel more you and more confident and more comfortable in you, that's when it's like a yes, let's consider it.
Especially when it helps you feel physically better.
Yeah.
Like my pain, all of it. I'm like, hell
when it's something chasing an aesthetic that is just being told you're meant to look like, or because others look that way, that's when it's not right. Like I see so many people have these like gorgeous, gorgeous noses that are unique and like very specific to their heritage and their parents and their grandparents. And then they change it to, oh, the battery died, whatever. We're going to finish like this. They'll change it to look like someone else. And I'm like, you look great, but you just don't look like you. Like there's nothing wrong with your nose job, but like that felt funny. Like that just doesn't feel right. And I think that really is like the line where I think if you're considering a procedure, that's what you sit with, and you sit with it for a while. You don't just like go and flippantly get something done.
But get a breast reduction. It's the best.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you.
For me too. The last thing that I will talk about is price, because I don't want it to deter anybody, but also I can't express enough that I did not try very hard on the insurance front, because I knew I was getting this anyway, and I just wanted to get the best of the best.
I
knew what doctor. I knew
People
all the
also
things.
ask, like, did you guys consider traveling out of state? That was never an option for us. Like, Taryn was not going to travel after this surgery. That would be really scary for her.
Yeah. So it was over $20,000.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like maybe 25, but it was somewhere between 20 and 25.
I think it was 23.
Yeah.
And that also included you getting the nerve blocker, I think was quite pricey.
And the lipo.
And the lipo. Those both added to it. I think it was like 18 base, and then those pushed it up.
Yeah.
So it was incredibly, incredibly expensive. But again, like Taryn said, there are ways. Look into your insurance, research other doctors.
And also, this will save me on all the fucking body work that I get with my neck, my head, blah, blah, all medicines, buying ibuprofen all the fucking time. Like,
yeah. For you, we knew there was travel is an option, and compromising on your doctor was not an option. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy you went to Dr. Teitelbaum.
Me too. He's perfect.
Was so kind, handled everything. Like, just the handling your health anxiety, how him and his staff talked to you made me feel so good. They it's a really delicate thing, and they handled it so well. So pricey, going to be so worth it. And yeah, it was an investment. It was investment in your health, in yourself, in your confidence, and that'll come back to you tenfold. So congrats, baby.
Thank you.
We love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to my baby's booby story.
My big booby. What's a B word that better like a story? My big booby
Bible.
Nice. I'm loving it. Is Frank down here? Was that his noise?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard him.
I told a really funny joke the other day, and Taryn the next day told me how funny it was. So it wasn't a joke. It was just a comment. But speaking of Bible, I just want to share it with you guys, anyone left here. The other morning, Taryn was watching TikToks, and it was like something about, they were talking about the Bible. And in my sleep, I was like half asleep, I realized that church is just a book club. And they just read and talk about the same book every single week. And that's my thought. And Taryn thought it was so funny that she talked about it several times.
And it's fiction, and they're trying to make it nonfiction. Sorry.
Yeah.
But.
And only one person gets to discuss it during the book club, which is so annoying. And that's why people love Bible study groups, because then they get to talk about their opinions.
I really feel like you're going to have to make a TikTok about this, because without the video, it's not going to pop as hard. But this is...
Yeah, you want this to be a clip on
It's amazing.
socials.
I need Clippy on this, but Clippy don't do it because there's no video.
Clippy can't clip it.
Clippy can't Clippy.
Clippy, no clipping.
Clippy, no clipping.
Okay,
love
guys,
you guys.
We love you. We'll
get a
see you
breast
next week.
reduction. May you all get a breast reduction. Love you.
Bye.